Catch 'em all.
Alright guys, today we're going to be taking a look at a shop light. This is actually 4 foot long. It is 38 watt, 5300 lumen, and 5000 K. So this will replace the equivalent of a 150 watt fluorescent light. It's ETL listed, so good for safety of course. And it looks like it's going to be pretty simple to operate. It's got a 50,000 hour lifespan that basically equates to 6 hours of daily use for about 23 years, I believe, if the mouth plays out. So I wanted to show you this a little up close before we start dealing with the mounting aspect of it, simply because it's easier indoors. So this is the unit. You've got the plastic here. You've got your instruction manual. We'll take a look at this more in depth. You got these adapters so they can actually go on these sides when you hook up your junction box, and you have these anchors that you may or may not need depending upon what your mounting situation is, and screws. So the actual light itself has these clips right here, right there. So let me show you real quick in case there's any question about how those come apart. So basically, you can see right here is a clip, and right there is a clip. So if you just grab and squeeze, you can pop that right off, move to the next one, and do the same thing, and just keep going down the line. Alright, so I was able to squeeze all. It does have this like safety retaining clip. So when you're mounting this, you can actually disconnect that if you want, or just leave it hanging down. Not really a problem. And that's what the back side of that looks like. So nothing too special there. Over on this end, see you got some wires there. We'll get into a little bit more detail on everything. This is just a quick overview. And on the inside, you of course have where the power distribution goes on, your connector here. Here in the center, you have a punch out for your junction box. And then, as I was talking before, in the event you need it, you have these little wing adapters. Basically, something like that. So, give you an idea of kind of how that's going to play out, how that goes. And then I'm going to show you an image, and the purpose behind that image is to speak more about the different mounting locations. You see all the different holes that are available? Well, those are there for a specific reason. It's to give you a variety of different mounting options. Everyone is going to have different needs and where they're going to want to mount this light. So this is going to give them the ability to mount it in different places according to where the studs are, where your best anchor points are for the most secure mounting purpose. Okay, so and some of these are going to be more adjustable than others. So if you see this one here, there is actually more adjustment available there. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the light itself and the specs. Of course, you can check the link below the listing at any time if you want to find out more. But we're going to replace a single bulb on a carport that will eventually become a garage, and this is the light we're going to use to put right in the center. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the light. Let's go ahead and take a look maybe at some more specific information. So you do have this. If you're happy, leave a review. If you're not, reach out for service. And then you have this user manual, or sheet, if you will, and it talks about step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So not a lot involved in this, and then it of course denotes your different wires, your black, white, and green, and it looks like C, N, and ground. I have a little bit of a vision problem, so you have to forgive me. These instructions will be included, so not a big problem for you, but it basically walks you step through step, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, or try to, during the actual installation process. Other than that, let me show you a little bit more specific information related to the mounting and the holes on this thing. Alright, let's take a look. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you the actual unit. As you can see here, you won't be able to see it as well at this angle, but hopefully this will help out, because I want to put a picture beside of this that you can kind of reference back and forth, and you'll see different holes in this unit when you flip this over. So basically, as I said before, it just gives you a various possibilities when it comes to mounting and attaching it, you know, to the best possible way that you need to do. So there are holes marked 1 for installation in the instructions, and there's a picture showing that on the listing, also on the Amazon page, I believe, and on the instructions. So that kind of details that, so you know exactly what you can refer to in terms of that. There are 4 holes also marked 2, and that's not mentioned in the instructions, but it's basically the same thing. You can use the 4 holes or any 2 holes for installation. Again, it depends on your specific needs. There are 4 screws and 4 wall anchors included with the kit. So you basically just use the number 2 holes, a different set of holes, if that's what lines up with your specific mounting setup. And then you just utilize the same anchors. And you use the instructions the same way, but you'll use 4 instead of 2, or 2 instead of 4, I guess, if you needed to. And then there are also holes that are marked number 3. Those are used when you're installing and dealing with the junction box itself. So if you have a junction box in the ceiling, you may not have to drill extra holes, and you can connect the screws there, and that might be all you need. I mean, you'll have to make your own call on that, but they give you that option and give you that ability to connect in with the junction box. But keep in mind, they don't provide the screws for that. You're just going to reuse the screws, the existing screws from the junction box when you start dealing with that portion of it. So hopefully that gives you a little bit better idea. Like I said, some of that's not really detailed in the instructions, but I'll provide, providing this so you can see it, but I'm also going to provide a picture for reference that you can also look and kind of give you a side-by-side sort of comparison. So hopefully that'll give you a little bit more of an idea of what to expect. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump into the actual installation process. Alright, so I don't unfortunately have any nighttime pictures, but you can see just that one little light is what we're using to light up this entire area. So that gives you a little bit of an idea the amount of space we're trying to cover here with a little light. And if it hadn't been storming last night, I would have you a nighttime shot, but too late. So this is what it looks like when it's lit up. I'm going to shut this down and get this other light connected, and we'll see what's happening. Again, like I said, depending upon your mounting location, your junction box, if you've got it flush mounted, or like this one where it's hanging down slightly, you'll just have to make your best call on how you want to mount things. Alright, so hopefully that gives you an idea of where we're starting. Let's see where we end up. Alright, so I don't know how well this shows up. Hopefully you can kind of see this, but as the instructions here lay out, you've got the black, white, and green wires. So you've got, if I can get it to focus, you got your ground. Alright, so those are the 3 wires that line up with this. Of course, you just insert the wire. And that is pretty much all there is to it. Nothing too special there. And on the end, this portion, as we mentioned briefly earlier, just matches up, clips into the actual light itself. So I went ahead and disconnected it with a little safety clip. You can see over on the end there, just to make it easier to handle. Alright, so let's see about getting some of these wires going in here. And we're going to mount this beside of the light that's existing, the junction box, just because we want to add some other lights later. We think that's going to be the best option. So we'll be mounting this to the ceiling, sort of a flush mount. You'll see the end result here shortly. Alright, so just a quick update. Of course, we got the positive, negative, and the ground. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to run the wire through the end. And we're going to grab wood screws and just use some of our own wood screws so we can mount this the way we want. Get a little better grip because we're dealing with, mounting it directly to the wood. Just think that, it'll be a little sturdier. So you can use the existing screws. We're going to use our own. But we're going to punch out from the corner here. And what that's going to allow us to do is mount it basically right there in the center above that ladder. And we're just going to run a piece of conduit from that light over this way, and then later we're going to run another light over on that side, and we're going to come out. So yeah, a little bit of a change of plan. That's how we're going to do it. So alright, we'll jump back here in a moment when we got a little more progress. Alright, so we are going with the center holes on this, which I don't know if you can kind of see that, where that screw's going in there. But we're using some pretty long screws. And we're just centering this thing up. So yeah, we just chose to go with these center holes. We're going to put 3. That should take care of it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. So we're going to get some conduit later. We don't have any right now, but we're going to go ahead and run the wires and get this thing going without the conduit temporarily. Alright, so we have the little safety tether or whatever you want to call it in place. And we're going to get ready and punch out the junction box over there and run some wire. And again, later we're going to add some conduit, but just don't have any available right now. Not the right size anyway. So we'll go ahead and get this done before this thunderstorm that's supposed to be rolling in comes. We'll get this thing lit up. Alright. And again, we just chose to use the center with the screws. So again, you have to just choose whatever mounting option is best for your specific needs. You can see we chose the center. Alright, so we've got our wire here going to the junction box. And the wing nuts, a little extra security with some electrical tape just to be sure everything stays in place, stays safe. And we will add the conduit at another point, as mentioned before. And we just pop those wires right into the end of the plug. Hopefully you can see right like that. Get everything mounted up. And that will be that.
gonna cut it off.
Alright, so obviously not a very dramatic effect in the daytime, but that should be a nice improvement over the old bulb that we had. So, alright, that's pretty much it. We'll add conduit later, add the secondary light later, and hopefully get back tonight and get a nighttime shot. Alright guys, so real quick, this is what it looks like. Obviously this is not closed in as a garage, but it will be, so have the pole light out here giving a little bit of light, but then that's with the light on, so much brighter. The original was just a 40 watt incandescent, and now we've got that. So definitely putting out a bunch more light. Really, really works great. Okay, so hopefully you found that useful. Gives you a little bit of an idea of what you might expect. And other than that, check out the link below the video. You can find out more information, maybe read some other reviews, find more details, anything I may have missed. Okay? Thanks.